Hey everybody, Happy New Year. We of course are gonna make our New Year's donuts today.
Yay.
We're also going to show you a few snippets of what's happening around the farm and with the kids and all kinds of things. And on that note, we want to remind you that we have our limonegoods.com that has a whole bunch of awesome good stuff.
I like
for
how
the
you
new
did
year.
this, limone.
Limone.
One must use their hands
Yes,
when they're
accent
pronouncing
on the
Italian words.
limone. I'm working on it.
I'm gonna put some information about the store below the video. We're celebrating all that is tidy and bright in January, so we have loads of new products that are there for you to check out. This is a very thoughtful and carefully curated collection that is meant to give you pieces that will last in your kitchen, pieces that you will use every day, pieces that will make your kitchen really beautiful and really work on making your kitchen the soul of your home.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the pieces, right?
This is one of the pieces. You gotta read about the history of this fabric over there. There's a whole little thing on it. But I'm gonna put some information to the store below the video. Make sure you check it out.
Oh, thank you.
2025,
Here we go.
another year.
That's right.
There's no better way to kind of start the year than donuts, I think. Feel celebratory. Unless you're on a diet, then there's probably a lot better ways to start the year than
New year,
this.
new diet.
New year, new diet. Let's start with 8 cups of tallow.
We have different kinds of resolutions around here. So what was your highlight of 2024?
The highlight of 2024 for me was launching Limone because it just felt like such a culmination of who I am and who I've been my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not been quite a project that's used all of those skills that I worked on, you know, back from when I worked in the flower shop for a decade and curated the retail store there. And it just feels like such a natural fit. Like it just fits like a glove.
Mm.
And so that was a huge highlight for me in 2024.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
It was a really good one.
Yeah.
We also started doing our menu plans on Substack in January of last year and kept doing that all through the year, and we'll keep going on. So the word that keeps coming to mind for me, that keeps coming up 2024, and I feel like in 2025, is habit. Because our emotions can be a little deceptive and they can really wax and wane depending on the day. You know, you have a bad day in the garden when like the aphids take your kale and you just want to give up emotionally, right? But like when you're already in the habit of gardening, you won't give up because it's just a habit. It's just something you do. It's something that just comes out of you.
Yeah, and it's not dependent on how good of a gardening day you had.
No, because I think we all would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the same is true for parenting, for homeschooling.
Working out.
For working out. Oh man, for practicing Italian. I mean, I have some lessons where I just feel like I'm going to get this. And some where I'm like, how does anyone ever learn Italian? I mean, it's like this roller coaster. And I think you feel like as you get older, like I'm going to be this is my last year in my 30s, 2025. And it feels like you should be figuring some of these things out, like it should be linear, and it doesn't work like that.
No.
It is like this, you know?
Yeah.
To me, 2025, I love looking back. And I love setting goals. I don't think there's anything cheesy about that. It's you're setting the trajectory and saying, where do I want to aim this ship?
Yeah.
And to me, it's not some crazy outlandish goal. Like in our, years together, we have bought a house. We've had 4 children. We've started a business. We've cultivated this property. And so we've already done some of those huge mountaintop moments that you get in your life. And now to me, it's more about what are the habits that you're doing daily and how are they going to shape the person that you become?
Yeah, exactly. The thing about habits is we are habituated whether we want to be or not. We have created habits for ourselves.
Good or bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Intentionally or unintentionally.
Yeah.
And so when you look at a habit like working out or reading, oftentimes when you're trying to develop that habit, you're going to have to exchange
another
one
habit
for the other. And so I think part of it is asking yourself, basically taking an audit of your habits, auditing what have I become habituated to, and asking yourself, are all the habits that I have
is that the right habit to
developed? Are those the things that because that ultimately is who you become.
Right.
It's just a conglomeration of the habits of your life.
Your habits.
And if you have created these unintentional habits, then you might be, without realizing it, becoming a different kind of person that you don't really want to be.
Yeah. You have to kind of you can set your goal and say, this is the type of person I want to be in a year or 3 years or 5 years. But it's these little teeny tiny micro steps that you do every single day,
That's right.
every moment of every day that ultimately either leads you here or leads you here.
Yes. Yeah. And so those habits are either forming you into something good and positive and that you want, or they're doing something else, and you have to take stock of those, and there are some that you'll have to cut out. So for me, I want to double down on the habit of reading good books.
Good books.
Reading good stuff and writing, and also it's become important for me to draw and paint more, and these are habits that can't take over because they're like hobby, they're hobby habits. For me, I think it's important to cultivate some habits that don't always have like a pragmatic end to them. But they have an enriching and important aspect to them regardless.
A habit
of
that
their
makes you
utility.
feel like human, just makes you feel human.
Yeah. Just touches on the humanness of ourselves. And we're not just utilitarian machines. We're way more than that. So I think it's important to have habits that cultivate that reality, that truth. So I think that those are some of the things. I think the other thing too is the habit of good rest. You think about times in the past, even like agriculturally, fields had to lay fallow for a time. They needed rest. And I think we need times like that too. We need to cultivate good habits of restfulness and rest. And that doesn't mean you're not doing anything, but it means intentionally allowing yourself to be able to be productive and good and the best
maybe in a different way.
That's right. Yeah.
We'll talk about this more in future videos, but kind of under that umbrella, we've decided to cover our huge market garden that produces our veg for the year and let it rest for a year and let ourselves rest for a year. We've been keeping a garden for over 15 years without any sort of a break. And so summer is this incredible time of bounty. And now we know how to grow this stuff, and we didn't know that before, but we are just human. And I think it's going to be important to take a rest so that you can actually continue on.
Right.
And not just bleed yourself out over this effort.
Yeah. And honestly, it does give you a chance to intentionally focus on some other things, and
like flower gardens.
That, but I also think, our kids are getting to a new stage, a different stage, and that's been really, really enjoyable. But it's also opened up just other opportunities for us that wouldn't have been quite as possible in previous years. And one of those is taking our kids abroad for a time. And that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to for 2025 is being able to take our family in a meaningful way to experience something about the world that's beyond. There's nothing wrong with where we're at, but we get to experience other parts of the world. So we're going to Italy for a month.
Taking them to Italy in March is significant in terms of rest, in terms of recharge, in terms of experience as a family. And so much of what we've set up is so that we can do things like this.
Right.
And we've chosen to prioritize different things financially maybe than other people would, or we've chosen to structure our lives in a way that is just, a bit different than some.
That's exciting to me too, because in some ways, this is not just an accident, but it's the culmination of years of making goals.
Yeah.
And kind of shooting for things that we knew were important to us. And now this is the kind of thing that we actually get to see come into fruition. Because of the habits that we've created in the past and the desires that we've cultivated, those kinds of things.
Priorities you've set, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So in a way, like the habits that we're creating for 2025, I don't think either of us are creating these brand new habits. I think we're actually trying to saturate and add depth to the people that we've always been.
Right. Yeah. We tend to come up with like a word of the year.
Yes.
Or like a phrase of the year to kind of characterize the year.
So if you had to put a word on 2025,
I would say depth, I think. I want to just dig in a little bit more. I think there are years where you can only go so deep because you're spread maybe a little thin. Yeah. And I think what seems to be true is that as our kids are getting older, they need a little more depth too.
They do.
And we have a high schooler now. And she's not happy with the surface answer of things, she wants to go deeper, and our other kids are wanting that as well. There's a depth that I desire. Hopefully 2025 will be a year like that.
I agree. I think that's a really great word for it. And I think if I had to add anything, it would just be like a depth of habits. We've already created like the habit of homeschooling. And now we're taking that thing we've already said long ago this is important to us. And now we're saturating it. We're going deeper into it. We're adding layers. So we're doing that in our family for sure this year. We're doing that in our work this year. We're adding a complete different depth to these things that we've already said for 15 years that we love and that we value. And I think just personally, we're doing that same thing for health. That takes effort. So there's all these things that are already there, the habits that are already there that now we're saying, now let's dig our claws in. And learn Italian. It's like shake and bake chicken. Remember shake and bake?
Oh yeah. You going for it?
Now?
You going for it?
Should I?
Go for it.
Oh, God. That's amazing.
Hey guys,
Hello.
Happy New Year. Y'all working in the wood shop today? Okay, you want to show me what you're working on?
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Me.
Yeah? Okay, show me what you're working on here.
I'm working on a pipe for Daddy. Daddy carved out the pipe, and now I'm just trying to smoothen it out and get all the flat spots out.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're doing a really good job.
Thanks.
Did you ever think that you'd be such a good pipe maker?
No.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get better at cooking.
That's a great resolution. I think you're gonna do great.
Thanks.
All right, Owen, what are you working on over here?
Trident.
A trident. Okay. Can you tell me about what you're doing?
We're lining up the centerpiece, the stem, the centerpiece, and the head up, and so we can fit it all into one thing. Then we're gonna glue it up and screw it.
All right. Pretty cool. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I want to work out more,
You're gonna work out,
stay in shape.
wake up early and work out?
Yep.
Okay.
Then we got 7 o'clock.
What you working on over here, Will?
A wand.
A wand, huh?
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
Right now I'm just sanding the handle down.
Mm-hmm.
I am using this drill to draw out some of these things, spirals. Oh, Bob's sanding it right now, making it more smooth.
Very cool. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, they're the same as when I'm gonna work out more, wake up earlier. So,
Those are good resolutions.
And the plates.
Thank you for helping me with that, boys. Careful. Careful. Thank you. All right. Woo, Willie. All right, we're gonna clean out our little cabinet here.
that's all I can read.
Get out some of the stuff, because I got some cool little lights to go in there. This is such a dark corner, especially this time of year.
I got it! Yahoo!
I suppose now is as good a time as any to clean through. These are for enjoying. Those weren't in the cabinet. Gosh, that's like the most rewarding, easiest project we've ever done.
No, put it, are we gonna do it like
We'll do it outside.
Okay, I thought we were gonna put
A little too big for this part. Got a little wet.
Might smother our fire.
2025. I'm gonna smother the whole thing.